It's mid-morning and the shops of central London are already bustling with activity. And so are Mark and Murat. They're private uniformed officers from My Local Bobby, and they're on the trail of a familiar face.
We were actually walking past the store and saw a male who we recognised to be a prolific shoplifter in the area, and we actually followed him using the in-store CCTV to actually see that he concealed an item on his person.
As the man leaves the shop, the officers catch up with him.
Hello, mate. How you doing? Come over here for me.
But he has no intention of coming quietly.
Come over here. You'll be entertained for shoplifting. Come over here.
I haven't got any.
Come over here. Come. Hey! Come over here. Come over here.
I haven't got any.
Calm down. Calm down.
He immediately started to resist being detained. He tried to flee and he tried to fight me off as well.
Calm down. Calm down.
With the incident escalating on a busy street, Mark and Murat need to get control of the situation as soon as possible.
The goal at that time was to, one, make sure that he's safe and that everyone around him is safe. Two, to take back the goods that he stole. And three, to try and identify him and take things further, whether that's through a prosecution or banning.
Calm down.
You can't search me. No, get the copper. Get the copper.
There's all sorts of reasons why people resist arrest. Sometimes because they're drunk, sometimes because they think they can get away. And don't forget, the object of the exercise when you're a thief is to get the goods and not get caught. And some people take their chance and resist arrest and try and get away. Of course, often they're just creating more problems for themselves.
The struggle continues. The suspect wriggles free and enters another store. The officers follow and a tense standoff unfolds, with the suspect becoming increasingly agitated.
Calm down.
You're not touching me.
Listen, I'm just trying to chat with you.
Get the copper.
Calm down.
You're not allowed to touch me.
Listen.
I got high risk, got bipolar. You're not allowed to touch me.
Listen, I understand that, but at the moment you are being...
We do know that he has mental health issues of some form, so we had to sort of factor that into the way that we responded to the incident. But at the same time, it was our job to make sure that he was firstly out of the store and under control.
Listen, all I need to do is ask you to come outside. Okay, we're not going to harm you.
In those circumstances, we do have to sort of alter how we deal with certain situations, in that we want to be calmer, we want to get our point across in a fashion that won't make them intimidated, to not startle him, because if he's startled, you never know what he could do.
One of the scariest things about encountering a shoplifter is knowing how they're going to respond if they're apprehended. And somebody who might seem very calm and collected might suddenly become very volatile and aggressive and even physically attacking somebody. Suddenly the fear of being detained makes them lash out and try and escape.
I'm sorry that I touched you. I'm sorry that I...
Mark's apology appears to calm the man down, and he agrees to leave the shop. The officers follow at a respectful distance, but once outside, he makes another run for it.
Right! Go. Right!
But his luck's out. He runs straight into a pair of PCSOs, and he's nicked once again.
No!
Right, you need to calm down! Calm down!
I've got money on me to buy things!
At that juncture, we did decide to apply handcuffs to him to stop him from escaping.
I bought these!
Stop resisting, let go!
I bought these!
Right,
Now in handcuffs, Mark and Murat can finally find out what he might have stolen.
get up!
Once we had him handcuffed and detained, we were able to do a preliminary search.
Just relax.
Mate, grab his other arm.
As the officers search the man, something falls from inside his jacket. He kicks it away, but the stunt is spotted and the PCSO heads over to retrieve the item.
Right, so that's what you stole, is it?
I don't know how they got there, mate.
Yeah, of course, okay.
There were some low-value chocolates on his person, which he had actually stole.
Yeah, nice one, mate, thank you.
I don't think his reaction to being detained really justified what he had on his person. So I don't know whether it was the mental health that made him act that way or whether he just didn't want to be in that certain situation. I suppose we'll never know.
Suspect detained at Sainsbury's, became aggressive, he's been handcuffed. No further additional units needed.
Cuffed and with 4 officers now on the scene, the suspect is returned to the shop where he stole the chocolate, where a more thorough search is carried out. But the chocolate, which cost just £1, turns out to be the only thing he's stolen.
In the end, the male was served with a banning notice. We did take a picture of him and we identified him, and we were able to disseminate that information onto both uniformed and plainclothes colleagues.
Right, mate, you're completely calmed down, so I'm going to take the cuffs off you now, all right?
I'm sorry about it.
No, it's no worries, mate. Wiggle out.
And now that the officers have satisfied themselves over the total value of the crime, they can make a decision about what further action to take.
Due to the low value of the goods that were actually taken, the call made was that the police would not be attending and that we wouldn't go any further with regards to a prosecution. So the male was released without any further action.
Just look into the camera for me, buddy.
Issued with a banning order from the store and a photo for the officers' records, the suspect is free to go.